Hi beautiful, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to share with you a few products I purchased from Shop Miss A. Mind you, these products were purchased back in May and it's now July, so it only took about a month and a half to get here in New Zealand. Thankfully, it's here. I was expecting these products to arrive last month, but because of the COVID and the shipping delays, it's totally understandable. Also, I did not purchase a lot because when I was on the website, majority of the products that I really wanted to try were out of stock. So I only managed to purchase a few products, which I think is pretty decent enough to create a full face. So I'm going to start with the premium lashes that they have. So this is the 3D Faux Mink false lashes. I have two styles. I have Yoni, which is a new style that I purchased. And then I repurchased the style Shelby because I absolutely quite like what it looks like on my eyes, especially if I do a very dramatic look. It's very fluffy. It's kind of heavy on my Asian eyes, but I mean, if I'm doing a very dramatic smoky eye look, this style is perfect, so I repurchased that. And these false lashes only retails for $1 US. The only thing that I don't like is the band because it's very thick and can get quite uncomfortable. But I mean, if you trim a decent amount of the lash and just pop it on your eyes with the exact measurement, I feel like it's totally fine. And AOA brand is a cruelty-free brand, so that's a plus. Another product I purchased is this value pack. So this is part of their charity collection. So this is the Pawpaw Wonder Blender, and I got the 6-pack. I believe this was in sale for around $8.80 or $8.90 US. So I had to pick this up because a lot of people were raving about the sponge, and oh my god, it's totally the best dupe that I find for the beauty blender. This is what it looks like when it's damp, and it's so squishy and very soft to the touch. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when it's dry. So right here are the comparisons. See how much it grew. So this one right here is dry, but you could definitely tell that this sponge is very soft and very squishy. It doesn't have a lot of pull to it or too much density, and once you wet it, it's even bouncier. Like if you compare the two. I'm so pleased about this purchase, and I'm glad that I picked up the pack. It's actually a lot cheaper to pick up the pack because I feel like you get more. And also, if you wanted to try it, the sponge retails for $1.40 or $1.50, mainly because it's a charity, so the difference of the price goes to the charity that they support, which is the animal charity called Pawpaw, and this is cruelty free as well. And then I picked up two brushes, and this comes in a set. I believe these two are $2 US, which is really cheap. I've used a buffer brush from AOA Studio before, and I still have the brush to this day, and it's a really good quality for $2. So I figured I'll pick up a dual fiber because recently I've been into more cream products, so this would be a good stippling brush to use whenever I want to use a blush or a highlight or a bronzer that is of cream formula. So there's two. I'm going to use this one today for my cream blush and contour. And then onto the makeup. These two right here are the latest formula that they have. Again, this has got a pink packaging because this line right here belongs to their Pawpaw line, and it's a little bit more than $1. So I believe each retails for $1.88 US, which is relatively cheap. And then I have two Buttercream gel liner shadow. I have the shade Java, which is just like a cool tone brown, which is going to be perfect to fill in my brows as well as do a wing liner or even just an all over shadow. And I have the shade Pumpkin, which matches my shirt today, and it's just like a nice coppery orange shimmery eyeshadow. You could use this as a liner as well. And then I picked up the cream sheer blush, and this is what it looks like, and this is in the shade Hush. Oh my gosh, the pen size is very small. I was shocked, but then again, it's $1, so I'm not mad about it. So you are all zoomed in. I've primed my face, and I'm going to start with the AOA Studio foundation, and I have the shade Soft Tan. I believe they have 12 shades. The way that they categorize each shade is light, medium, and dark, which I reckon is good. So this one says that you have to shake it well before you apply it, and I also love the fact that it comes in a squeezy tube. So this is what the shade looks like. Oh my gosh, it's very thick. I will use a brush to blend the product because the formula is very thick. I don't feel like a sponge will work best. I should have gotten the shade that is a little bit lighter because this one looks too orange. So here is what the foundation looks like. As you can see, the shade isn't the best, and it kind of oxidized as well into a more warmer undertone. It's kind of hard to blend. It has a little bit of tech, but it has a matte finish, which if you have oily skin, I love. If you have dry skin, I think it would be best to mix it in with a moisturizing primer or a moisturizer. So if I were to use this product and apply it with a sponge, I feel like the sponge will just soak up all the product. It does dry down very quick though, and I feel like you don't have a lot of work time because I'm trying to blend the foundation, but it seems like once you apply it on a specific area, it's pretty stuck on. It gave me a light medium coverage. I could use a little bit more. So I'm going to just use a little bit and go over the areas that I want to cover. I feel like you could get away without setting this foundation because the way it dries down, it's pretty much set. So this one is the liquid concealer, and I have the shade Nude. So this is supposed to be a full coverage concealer, and I love the fact that it comes in a squeezy tube, and again it has a very thick formula. And the color seemed to be looking a little bit more into a peachy neutral tone. So I'm going to grab my brush. Again, it has the same formula as the foundation. A pretty decent amount of coverage, but it's kind of harder to blend and it dries quite quick as well. So you don't have a lot of work time whenever you use this concealer. But for the price you pay, this is actually not that bad because I know there's more higher end concealers out there that doesn't even give coverage and not the best formula, but they retail it for as high as $20, whereas this one right here is just $1. So that's not too bad. Like it, I don't hate it, but I also don't mind it. Like, it's that type of product where it's just okay, like it works. I do love the packaging, like for $1, and for them to have a pretty decent packaging, that's pretty good. So I think I am gonna go over and use like a lighter concealer because the foundation at the moment is oxidizing. It's looking way darker than what my face looks like. This concealer does not sink into my fine lines at all. I kind of like the finish of it without being set. I think I'm going to move on to the blush, and this is a sheer cream blush in the shade Hush. I do love the texture of this because it kind of has that gel formula, and that's the shade right there, and it blends beautifully on the skin. So what I'm going to do is to use this brush right here. dip into the blush and stipple. Oh my god, that is so pretty. I love the fact that it does not lift the foundation because the foundation pretty much has set into a matte, somewhat powdery finish. So I could tell if a foundation is good when you apply a cream product on top and it does not lift the foundation or it doesn't bunch up in one area. Ooh, that's a really nice blush. I'm obsessed. It kind of acts as a bronzer as well because the tone is on that very browny neutral tone. So mix in with this foundation, it kind of makes me look like I have a tan. And it adds a little bit of glow onto the skin. Ooh, I like. So I'm going to just quickly set my under eye. I did not purchase their powder because I have tried it in the past and I didn't like it at all. It's very heavy, it's very cakey, and it doesn't agree with my textures. So for my brows, since I have this gel slash cream eyeshadow right here and the shade is pretty cool toned and it's decent enough to fill in my brows, I'm actually going to use that. Now that I'm looking at it, it has a little bit of warmth to it. So what I'm going to do is to just set my brows with a black mascara. That way I can get the tone that I want. But it's a nice blendable cream product. I did swatch this earlier when I got the package and oh my, once it dries down, it does not move around at all. For the eyes, I'll just quickly pass a little bit of bronzer so I can use the cream shadow because I feel like if I were to use the cream shadow straight away, it will look weird on my eyes. So I'll just quickly put a little bit of bronzer. For the lid, I am going to move on and use the cream shadow in Pumpkin. And oh my gosh, it's so creamy to the touch. And it's such a pretty shimmer shade. I'm going to pick up a brush to just precisely oh my gosh, it's more intense with a brush. And then I am going to go back to the Java chip, which is that dark brown. I'm going to do a wing liner. So I'll just quickly finish up the rest of my face. I don't have any lipstick or any other products and I'll come back with you with my final thoughts. Here is my final makeup look. Overall, my thoughts, I honestly love the finish and the coverage that these two base products gave. The only downside is that it's a little bit too hard to blend, and also this foundation right here, the tone is off. But if I were to actually mix this two, this will work out fine because the formula is very similar. It's a little bit tacky and very thick, so a little goes a long way. And also it's better to use a brush to apply this product because if you were to use a sponge will just soak up everything, leaving you with less to no coverage. My ultimate favorite product, however, that I've tried is the cream blush. Oh my goodness, it's the most blendable cream blush that I've tried. It works great underneath the powder and over the powder, and it's very opaque. It gave me a very nice sun-kissed healthy glow without making my skin look too greasy. It has a little bit of like a gel consistency, which makes it blend into the skin very smoothly, and it just sinks into the skin without no problem. And I do love that it's sheer because you could control how much product you put. The cream shadows is very affordable. If you're looking for a very quick, easy one and done eyeshadow that won't break your bank. These two are actually great. I wish I would have gotten more shades, but for an everyday I feel like these two complement each other. I was able to fill in my brows with a darker shade, which is Java Chip. It has a little bit of like a warm tone to it, so make sure that you set your brows with a more darker brow mascara if you were to use it on your brows, but nonetheless it glided on very smoothly. And now that the swatch have dried down, it doesn't move at all. Like once it's there, it's pretty stuck on, which is nice. Like for $1 and to have an eyeshadow that is like that, it's pretty good. The only problem that I find with the shimmery one is that if you apply a little bit too much on one area, it can get a little patchy and like bunched up, especially on this eye right here. This eye is great because I initially applied it with a brush, but because I used my finger on this one right here, it kind of deposited quite a lot of product, so when I went over it, it kind of just stayed in one place and kind of bunched up and did not really blend. But I mean, opacity is there, and I love the fact that it complements my shirt. So yeah, if you have tried a bunch of products from Shop Miss A, please let me know. So far the ones that I have here are great. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more updates, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye.